It looks like Rich Rodriguez has found the replacement for Chad Scott at running backs coach, and it appears to be an absolute home run hire. We're going to talk about that in this episode of Couz's Corner, which is brought to you by Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner, attorneys at law. And we're going to have that conversation right after this word from said sponsor. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident or fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. What is up, and welcome into this episode of Couz's Corner. Come on in and belly yourself up to the bar and let me pour you out this shot of top shelf college football news and analysis, because that's what we do here at Couz's Corner. Let's go ahead and dive right in. This breaking news that just came out a couple of hours ago. West Virginia appears, according to Football Scoop and some other sources, appears to have found their next running backs coach, and it looks like Coach Rodriguez has landed an absolute home run here with Larry Porter, who most recently was the running backs coach at North Carolina under Mack Brown, and recruited and coached someone who may get picked in the first round of this year's NFL draft, if not at least in the second round, and that is Omarion Hampton, the star running back from the University of North Carolina. This is an absolute home run, in my opinion. You lose Chad Scott, who was, by all accounts, an awesome recruiter, a really good running backs coach, had a great rapport with the players. Players loved him. They would run through a wall for him. Jaheim White likely stayed around Morgantown because of Chad Scott. Most of the offensive players love the guy. Even the defensive players love the guy, right? So I think it was an absolute great hire for Coach Rodriguez to keep Chad Scott on the roster, or on the staff, rather. However, Coach Scott had an opportunity to go coach at Texas, a team who will likely be in the hunt for a college football playoff spot. One of the blue blood premier programs in all of America, one of the largest fan bases, one of the richest programs. They're going to have a lot of opportunity. It's a great resume booster for Coach Scott. Hate to see him leave Morgantown, but happy for him. There's been a lot of talk. Who would Coach Rodriguez hire? Now, Coach Rod said in press conferences there were a lot of people banging down the door to be the next running backs coach at West Virginia, but I did not see a hire like this coming. This is an absolute home run. When you look at Larry Porter's resume, let's go ahead and go through his career. He's had stops he started off his career at some smaller schools, but his first Power 4 job was as a running backs coach for Oklahoma State, where he coached 1,000-yard rusher at Oklahoma State for 3 straight seasons under Coach Les Miles there. He followed Les Miles to LSU. Was there from 2005 to 2009, where he coached people like Jacob Hester, Charles Scott, and Joseph Adai, who went on to be a first-round NFL draft pick. He coached 2 more 1,000-yard rushers at LSU. Hester came real close to hitting 1,000 yards, so he had great success at LSU. What is most impressive to me about his stint at LSU is 2 times during his tenure there, from 2005 and in 2007, he was named Recruiter of the Year by Rivals. Recruiter of the Year. He recruited players such as Russell Shepard, who was a dual-threat athlete who ended up going on to play wide receiver in the NFL. He was one of the number 3 recruit nationally, according to 24/7 Sports that year. Number 1 at his position, which at the time was a dual-threat quarterback. He was one of the top recruits in the entire country, a top 3 recruit. Larry Porter landed him at LSU. He also recruited 5-star recruits Terrence Tolliver and Craig Lawston while he was at LSU. 2 more notable recruits during his career so far: Omarion Hampton, the one I mentioned earlier at UNC, and he also recruited Jordan Jefferson at LSU. Most of you know Jordan Jefferson went on to be a pretty good quarterback for the Tigers. So he's had really good recruiting success as well as coaching success on the field. He's also made stops at Arizona State, Texas, Auburn, and he's been at UNC twice. He was at UNC from 2014 to 2016, and then again from 2021 to 2024. when Bill Belichick came in and brought in a new staff. So Larry Porter was basically unemployed, and Coach Rod has been able to get him to Morgantown, at least according to sources. Now, this has not been announced yet by the school, but it has been reported by folks like Football Scoop and others. Let's go ahead and pull up the article that was written over at Pro Football Scoop, or Football Scoop rather, just to see what they have to say about this hire, or at least reported hire, for Coach Rodriguez and company. It says Rich Rodriguez answered the loss of his running backs coach by merely going out and landing one of the sport's top coaches at the position. Sources tell Football Scoop that Rich Rod and West Virginia are hiring veteran Larry Porter to coach the Mountaineers running backs. Porter replaces Chad Scott, who recently left for the running backs coach job at Texas under Steve Sarkisian. The Longhorns lost Tashard Choice to the NFL. Porter has a distinguished track record developing running backs, including most recently Amarion Hampton. The former UNC star tailback is projected as one of the top available running backs in this year's NFL draft. Himself a former running back at the University of Memphis, Porter has extensive experience in power conference programs. He had a long run in the SEC, where he spent a combined 9 years in charge of the running backs at first LSU and later Auburn. He also coached running backs for a year at Texas. Porter had been among Mack Brown's most enduring hires in Brown's second stint in Chapel Hill. Porter eventually served as both special teams coordinator and running backs coach for the Tar Heels. He became available to West Virginia and Rich Rod, who's also igniting his second tour in Morgantown, West Virginia, after UNC officials hired Bill Belichick to the NFL coaching icon's first ever collegiate job. So he has experience under Mack Brown. He has experience under other coaches throughout his career. I see this as an absolute home run hire. That 2007 LSU team won a national championship under Les Miles. Larry Porter was a part of that staff. So this coach has won a ring as an assistant. He also has head coaching experience. He was head coach for 2 seasons at Memphis in 2010, 2011. Now, he did not have a good run there. He finished 3-21 there as head coach, but he's not being hired to be a head coach. He's being hired to be running backs coach. That's what he's going to be asked to do. And he could also help out with special teams. He has experience as a special teams coordinator. If you're going to lose somebody like a Chad Scott, to me, to bring in somebody with this much experience, with this much of a pedigree, who's this good of a recruiter, I see this as an absolute home run. I don't know that you could have done a better job, if you're Coach Rodriguez and this staff, of landing anyone better than Larry Porter. Again, this is assuming this is official. Now, it hasn't been made official yet, but it likely will be now that it's been leaked to the media. I expect this will likely become official sometime tomorrow. I'm recording this on Sunday night. I expect it will become official probably sometime Monday or Tuesday, sometime early in the week. But I want to know your thoughts on this hire in the comment section. What do you think about this hire by Coach Rodriguez and staff to bring in somebody like a Larry Porter to coach Jaheim White and these other running backs in Morgantown? Let me know. I want to give a quick shout out to my VIP channel members of this episode: Okie King, Todd Biela, Jack's son Clark, Shaq, and Andrew Galvin. Thank you all for being VIP channel members. If you want to become a VIP channel member, you can hit the join button below or go to my channel homepage and hit it over there. There's also a link in the description box where you can subscribe, or where you can become a channel member. There are 2 levels, two levels of VIP, the pub level, which is $2.99 a month, and the club level, which is $4.99 a month. If you get club level, you'll get access to not only the random shout outs and first dibs on chats and live streams, just like all members, but if you're a club level member, you also get access to early content. Some videos will go out early. I will put those out early to club level members only, and occasionally I will even put limited ads on some of those videos. So if you're not a YouTube premium member, then you get limited ads on some of these videos if you're a club level member. That being said, I ask that you please support me for free by hitting the like button. That's the thumbs up button below. That really helps. You can subscribe, help me get to my next big goal of 10,000 subscribers, and get your family and friends to subscribe. Those who like Mountaineer football, if they like the Big 12, if they like conference realignment talk on YouTube, this is the place for them. Please get them to subscribe here on the channel. Also, don't forget my basketball channel, Hoops from the Hills, where I cover West Virginia Mountaineer basketball all season long. I thank you for tuning into this episode. Hope the rest of your day is top shelf, and cue Country Roads.